Right. All right, that's the second one quartered. Easy, so you don't splash. Then we need 2 oranges quartered. Okay, drop those in. Hello everyone, so right now we're going to brine a turkey for Christmas, but you can also do it for Thanksgiving, which we did, and it turned out phenomenal. So it's a really old recipe that came from my aunt that lives in the Southwest. And so what you're going to do is we're going to start with any kind of pot, or some people use a 5-gallon bucket. It really depends on what you have around your house. So we started off with a 10 to 16 pound turkey. Our turkey is a little bit over 16 pounds, so it's a butterball. What I find with this recipe is it really doesn't matter so much what brand of turkey you use, but I will say that butterball does perform better when it comes to this, and I don't know, it just might be a better quality, turkey. So we're starting off today with, I have 2 gallons of water already in here in this stock pot. And so I usually, once I get up to anywhere between 10 and 16 pounds, I use the 2 gallons of water. If I need to add a little bit to top it off to make sure the turkey is submerged, then I'll do that, and I'll show you here in the end. So what we're going to start with is, so I've got my 2 gallons of water. So I need 6 sprigs of thyme and 6 sprigs of rosemary. So 2 sprigs equals about a teaspoon. So that would be 3 teaspoons of thyme and 3 teaspoons of rosemary would be roughly the equivalent of the 3 teaspoons per herb. So there again, 6 sprigs of thyme, 6 sprigs of rosemary, which would be 3 teaspoons of each. So I've got those here, so I'm going to dump those in. So next, what we're going to do is use 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're not going to stir anything yet. We'll wait till we get totally complete here, and then we'll stir everything up. And 1 cup of salt. All right. And I'm going to measure this to make sure that it is 1 cup, because it looks a little bit more than 1 cup. So we're going to double check, because you don't want too much salt, but you don't want less than what you're supposed to have. So the secret to brining is, I'll show you in a minute some other things that we're going to add. Okay, so that's 1 cup, so just want to make sure it looked like it was a little bit more. All right, so we've got our 1 cup of salt. All right, so now what we're going to do is take 2 lemons, and we're going to quarter them. I'm going to have to get a better knife because this one's just not working out. All right, and we're going to drop those in there. No squeezing, just drop them in. That's 1 lemon. All right. All right, that's the second one quartered. Easy, so you don't splash. Then we need 2 oranges quartered. Okay. Drop those in. Here's the second one. All right, so now we're complete. So the first thing we need to do is we need to stir this. Mix it up good so that the brown sugar and the salt dissolves. So the key to this, really, what happens is the acid in the lemon and the oranges forces the seasoning into the meat. So what we're going to do is brine this for 10 to 12 hours. Some recipes call for 24. I've done it for 24 before. Didn't work out good at all. The meat was really tough. So I stick typically with 10 hours. That's somewhere between 8 and 10 hours is a good number. I've never, after that first time, went over 10 hours. So I'll put it in tonight and then have it ready to go. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I have a kind of a habit where I don't rinse my turkey. I saw something a long time ago about not rinsing turkeys when you're gonna put them in the oven or brine them or whatever. So I'm gonna drop her in here, and if you can see, it's just about perfect. So typically I like to find a way to let that water kind of get in the cavity there so I can keep it sinking all the way down, because I want to make sure that the back and the breast, so that worked out good right there. The back and the breast stay totally underwater. So I'll add just a little bit more water to make, so I'm going to be over 2 gallons by just maybe a quarter or an eighth, to make sure that all of the meat stays under the water. Some other things that I've done to keep that in place is I've sat a heavy bowl upside down on top of the turkey inside here before. I've also put a heavy cup or something, but if you push down and let some of those air bubbles get out, you're in pretty good shape. So it'll try to rise up a little bit, but for the most part, you're gonna be good to go. So this will go in the refrigerator, very important, and it will stay in there for 10 hours, and then I will take it out, and at that point, I will rinse it off, and then put it in my roaster. I'll baste it with butter, all over the top, the drumsticks and stuff, and then cover it, with aluminum foil, and bake for a little over 3.5 hours at 325 degrees. So Butterball's actual little cheat sheet that they have here, and you really want to go by this because you don't want to cook it too long, because it really turns out bad if you cook it too long. And so it says roasting time for a unstuffed turkey, 10 to 18 pounds, is 3.5 hours max. So for Thanksgiving, I roasted it for exactly 3.5, and it turned out phenomenal. We had so many compliments on the turkey and how moist it was. It really is a fantastic recipe. And it's very simple and inexpensive. And there we have it. There is our brining for our Christmas turkey, and we know it's going to turn out fantastic.